For anyone who can read a map, it's clear that the people are fed up with how things are in America. The people are sick of undeclared, undefined, and never-ending foreign wars. They are sick of the condition of the border and the benefits given to illegals. They are sick of the economy and all of the bullshit about race, abortions, and transsexuals. The people voted for some things to change. Unfortunately, there are a few who want to keep things the way they are, and they are lining up with all of their usual tactics to block change. The Senate is having secret meetings to figure out how to stall Trump's agenda, which you could call a mandate considering the size of the victory. The military is making plans to keep the gravy train of war and loose accounting rolling. The DOJ is looking for ways to evade accountability to their boss, who is the president. Apparently, the DOJ lawyers are losing their minds from the fear. Even the blue state politicians are shamelessly pledging obstruction.
We are calling and have called for an emergency special session of our state legislature, firmly focused on the values we hold dear that I think are universal values and are American values as it relates to freedoms and individual liberty, as it relates to the issues of reproductive freedom in particular, as it relates to the freedom to breathe clean air and drink clean water, and environmental stewardship, planting firmly our feet as it relates to continuing to advance our low carbon green growth strategies.
A few people benefit from divisiveness in the public and would see some of their power and influence diminish if the people demanded more say in how their government is run. That's not a bad thing, and now there's a chance for this.
As President Trump should enforce his will. He's the leader of the MAGA movement. He's the leader of the greatest political movement in American history. It's the first time the populace, even under President Jackson, right, and others, William Jennings Bryan, the populist movement only got so much traction. President Trump has put it in the heart, a populist nationalist movement in the heart of Washington, D.C. And to our enemies, the globalists, and they are our enemies. Remember, they're trying to put us in prison. They're trying to bankrupt us, trying to make sure you don't have bank accounts, credit cards. These are not, citizens, let's sit down and kumbaya. No, there's no kumbaya. It's that you betrayed your country. You're guilty of treason.
Proving to be completely tone deaf, the Democrat-dominated Clean Air Board in California met as the fallout from the election was settling. They voted to make changes to the fuel standards. According to press reports, this will increase the cost of gasoline by 65 cents per gallon. This will add $10 to the cost of 15 gallons of gasoline, and this is on top of the prices which are already the highest in the country. All of this is because over 99% of climate scientists agree that humans are causing climate change. But what is science? Science is a process to answer questions, but it's also a process to question answers. If you're not doing the second part of that, you're not doing science. You're just collecting a paycheck. And if you're just collecting a paycheck, why would anyone trust you? Don't we have enough evidence that this is the road to ruin? Trump has appointed a hardliner as border czar, if that's even an official position.
Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
There are tens of millions of illegals in the United States. The solution to this problem is not making the law any tougher. The law is already very tough. Nor is the solution hiring more border agents. This might slow down the flow of illegals, but it won't stop that flow, and it will do nothing about the ones who are already here. The bottleneck in the system is the immigration courts. There are only 600 immigration judges nationwide, and they have a lot of work. Even if they work at maximum capacity and all of the time, which will never happen, they can only resolve about 6 or 7 asylum claims per week. The math of the problem is that with 600 immigration judges, you can resolve about 3,900 asylum cases per week. This means that you can resolve about 203,000 cases per year. At that pace, and assuming that there are 20 million cases, it will take almost 100 years to clear the backlog. The only realistic way to clear the backlog is to increase the number of immigration judges to 10,000. This gets you about 65,000 deportations per week, which is about 3.4 million per year, and clears the backlog in about 6 years. The problem is the cost. Even setting aside the cost of physically deporting someone, each judge probably costs at least $3 million per year when you factor in his salary and benefits, and the same for his secretary, courtroom clerk, researcher, and bailiff. And also when you factor in the courtroom, the courthouse facilities, and the clerk's office. The total cost, if I have done the math correctly, would be about $30 trillion per year. Consequently, expectations should probably be tempered.